I would like to take a moment to introduce today's video partner, Foreo Sweden. I received the UFO 3, which is the newest product in the UFO collection, but I wanted to try it first to see if I like it and if I saw any improvement or any difference in my skin, and after all this time I have to say that I have been really loving it. It is a facial hydration device which gives you the benefit of 5 spa facials. During these past years living here with this dry and hot or super cold climate, my skin has getting drier and drier, which is something that never happened before because I used to have an oily skin, and the UFO 3 has helped me a lot with this deep hydration and rejuvenating my skin, which has felt much better. The UFO 3 gives T-sonic massages to boost skin's radiance. This small device also has warming thermotherapy, helping soften and prep the skin to absorb the full benefits of skincare ingredients. It also has a cool cryotherapy, which with the benefits of extremely low temperatures, it depuffs and firms the skin so you can say goodbye to wrinkles and to puffiness, and this is something that I love because I wake up every day with puffy face. They are doing a special sale now, so you can get your UFO 3 at 30% discount using my link below, and the first 50 buyers can get an additional 10% off using my code Eugenia10. I will leave all the links in the description below.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm often asked why I chose to move isolated and away from society or communities. I moved here almost 4 years ago and started my YouTube channel 1 year later. Until that moment, I had never been really good at keeping a social media account active. I actually didn't have a personal one, and while I loved in-person interaction and meaningful conversations, I was never really good at keeping online contact with friends through social media, calls or texts. During the last 2 years living off-grid, growing my own food, cooking all my meals, and being close to nature, I have received thousands of messages, most of them from amazing people all over the world, but sometimes from not so good people, because while I believe that most of the people is really good at heart, I'm also aware that some others are not. Something that has really surprised me during these last 2 years making videos and receiving all these messages was about projections and expectations. And what do I mean by that? Let me put you in context first. Years ago, my life circumstances guided me to take a decision of how I wanted to keep living my life. Was I hoping someone would accept me for how I looked, the things that I achieved, or what they hoped me to be or become? Or would I accept myself just for who I came into this world to be? While we all grow conditioned by society, families, or religion, at some moment in our adulthood, we are no longer the victims of that conditioning. If we want our lives to go in the direction we envision, but we fail at it, then the outside world is not responsible for it. There is nothing outside of you that can determine your well-being or lack of it anymore. Once we become an adult, it is our responsibility how we choose to think, act, and be. But that can be scary sometimes, because it implies one very uncomfortable aspect, that now we are the only responsible person for how we feel. And this takes me to projections. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, psychotherapist, and psychologist, introduced the notion of projection to explain how people can feel certain they know what other person is like and what they think, then interact with the other person on the basis of those assumptions. Jung also went on to propose that often these assumptions are false and say more about the person making the assumptions than they do about the other person. He suggested that everyone has shadow personality traits, for example, elements of our personality that we dislike or of which we are ashamed, and rather than acknowledge their presence, we attribute them and project them onto other people. During the past 2 years, I have received many hateful comments that at times made me even laugh, because I was being criticized based on others' assumptions for opposite things than the actual reality. One will criticize my morals because I ate meat, and the other one because I was eating vegan meals. One will criticize me because I dressed like a nun, the other one because I showed too much skin. One will criticize me because I speak, the other one because I didn't. So I'm sure you are getting the dynamic, right? But it all came down to their projections of what they are not able to accept of themselves that were blamed onto others. And while many people choose to continue living their lives this way, I hope that many others become aware of it, so we can accept all parts of ourselves. The good parts that our conditioned environment accepted, and the maybe not so good one that they didn't. Because we are all of them, and only when we can fully accept ourselves, we can truly live a fulfilled life. And the second thing that I wanted to talk today is about expectations, which under my point of view is a really unhealthy way of navigating life. Have you ever traveled or visited a place with such high expectations that no matter how beautiful the place was, it never seemed to match your expectations? This used to happen to me many years ago, especially the first time I visited new places. And one day, I realized that I would never enjoy or appreciate a single place if I was making up my mind of what this place should be like. The sad thing is that this happens in human connections as well. I'm sure many people can relate to the fact that no matter what we do, how we look, what we become, or what we achieve, we will never live up to the expectations of our parents or certain friends. And at some point, you end up realizing that no matter what you do, they will never fully accept who we are, because deep down, they never fully accepted themselves in the first place. So after many questions, messages, and comments telling me how I should live my life based on someone else's expectations, I can only answer one thing. The only person who is responsible to live up to your own expectations is you. What does it mean to live a simple life to you? You go live it that way. What does it mean to live closer to nature to you? You go live it that way. And what does it mean to live an empowered life to you? Be honest to yourself and become responsible of those standards, and you go live it that way. Be a leader and lead by example, not behind a keyboard, criticizing others' work, but in the actual physical world. And don't expect others to do it for you, while you do nothing to change your same old way of living. Changing your life has in fact nothing to do with the country you live, your environment, or the people you have around. Because if the way we perceive our reality doesn't change, the new country, the new environment, or the new people you find will never be able to change it for us.
Me has manchado absolutamente todo.
más después de reservar y mezcla con todo porque no se me mezcla. Escaparse.